The 2024-25 season has been a fun one. We've seen so many different things occur this year. With that being said, let's take a look at 5 cool NBA stats from this season. Number 1, 246. Peyton Pritchard just finished the 2024-25 season with 246 made triples while coming off the bench, the most of any reserve player this year. He would finish with 255 triples overall, which was top 5 league-wide. And funny enough, he was also one of 3 different Celtics to make over 200 or more trays, joining Derek White and Jason Tatum in that area. He was one of only 23 to make over 3 per outing. But what might be even more impressive is the efficiency. Pritchard drilled 40.7% of his triples, third highest among players with at least 200 makes. The only players ahead of him were Zach LaVine and Malik Beasley, 2 extremely good shooters in their own right and good company to be in at that. He's what one might consider a super sub, and given that the Boston Celtics played him over 28.4 minutes per game this year, I think that tracks. He led all reserves in minutes. Number 2, 12.5. That's the amount of points per game that Ty Jerome averaged this season. Now that on the surface doesn't sound all that impressive, but when you consider the amount of minutes he actually played, it really puts things into perspective. Mr. Jerome played 19.9 minutes per game this year. That is 175th most. Despite that, he just averaged the 3rd most points all time for a player playing less than 20 minutes per game. The only qualifying players who averaged more were Quentin Daly and Flynn Robinson. He has made the most of his minutes, and this has led to one of the most impactful seasons in recent memory. In addition to that, Jerome was very nearly a part of the elusive 50-40-90 club, as he would finish the 2024-25 regular season off by completing 51.6% of his shots, including 43.9% of his triples, while also knocking down 87.2% of his free throws. He was the only player to average at least 50-40-85 and play at least 50 games this year. Aaron Nesmith would have made the cut too, but he only suited up in 45. Number 3, 176. That is the number of total blocks that young phenom Victor Wembanyama recorded this year despite playing just 46 games. This man led the league in blocks despite playing 34 fewer games than the next closest player, who was Brook Lopez, who rejected 148 shots himself. Wemby quite literally averaged 3.8 swats per game. That would have been the highest per game average of the 2000s had he qualified for the games played category. Hell, he already recorded the 6th highest per game average just last season by swatting 3.6 per contest. All of this in addition to putting up 24.3 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 3.7 assists. He was one of only 5 players in the NBA to average over 24 points, pull down 10 or more rebounds, and dish 3 or more assists, joining elite company in Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, Giannis, and Karl Anthony Towns. And once you throw in the blocks, he stands alone. Victor Wembanyama is the future of this league. Number 4, 229. That, my friends, is the number of total steals that Atlanta Hawks combo guard Dyson Daniels recorded this year. That is the most since the turn of the century, just edging out Allen Iverson's 225 despite playing 6 fewer games, and the 20th highest single season total in NBA history. Now you know you've done something right when you are being mentioned in the same breath as players like Gary Payton, Alvin Robertson, and John Stockton, and Daniels has indeed been nearly as big a threat as those greats at swiping the ball away from his opponents. Daniels became the first player to go over the 200 mark since Chris Paul did it in back-to-back seasons from 2007 to 2009. It's just not something that's done that often, and his per game average of 3 is one of the 10 highest in history. A huge contributing factor to Daniels' theft is his ability to jump into the passing lanes and disrupt. The Aussie just recorded the highest number of total deflections ever at 443. Granted, this stat has only been tracked since the 2015-16 season, but still, that is exceptional. Number 5, 293. Who says the mid-range shot is dead? It might as well be as alive as it ever was, ladies and gentlemen. 293 represents the total number of mid-range field goals that DeMar DeRozan finished with this season. That is the highest since, well, DeMar DeRozan knocked down 317 during the 2022-23 season. This man is a mid-range assassin, and the most impressive part of all of it is the efficiency. Any player can shoot a particular shot on high volume, but what sets him apart is the efficiency with which he's done so. Among the 17 players who have attempted at least 200 shots from the mid-range area, DeRozan ranks 6th in field goal percentage at 45.8%. This man hasn't shot below 40% from this zone in 9 years. In a world where the three-point shot is king, DeRozan has managed to thrive because of his effectiveness from inside the three-point line. He's still a high-level finisher, even at 34. The Compton native is still a major threat to draw contact on his drive to the rim, but most of his scoring can be attributed to his elite shot making from the mid-range area. He wouldn't have been able to average 12 straight seasons of 20 or more points per game without that ability, because Lord knows that he ain't a great shot from 3-point distance. So here's to one of the kings of the mid-range. Well, that'll do it for this one, folks. What other cool stats have you seen this season? Let me know in the comments below. Stay positive.